What's up, guys? I'm Mark, and this is Madison, and we're excited to just tell y'all a little bit about what's been going on in our life, a little bit of a summer update, I guess.
Yeah, what we've been up to lately. I'm currently 31 weeks
I
pregnant.
thought I said 38. I thought you told me 38.
If I was 38, it would be like almost go time.
Yeah, everybody, it is weird. Everybody's been saying that she doesn't look very pregnant, which I would say that too. I looked up like 38-week term, I guess, or how
31.
long? 31 weeks along, and you don't look near as pregnant as, I guess, the normal person that's that far along. So either the baby's really small, or I don't know what else, or you hide it well, I guess. I don't know if that's a thing.
Everyone's a little bit different.
But I don't think you're trying to hide it.
Nope.
Yeah. So
I'll give you a bump date.
So I think we have told everybody that I'm working at Tesla. I'm doing a project for Tesla, and we've been working on the battery production facility in Austin. So anybody that's in Austin, if you drive by the Austin Tesla site, I'm helping out with that. We're working on the battery production. And so that's been a really cool thing. I've been getting a lot of experience, and then also getting to work with a lot of different people, a lot of people in different fields from different areas around the world. And that's been a really good opportunity, helping me learn how to communicate with different personalities. It is a little bit of a bummer at times working in the house away from everybody that I'm working with, but it is a pro because I'm always at home, and so with the baby on the way, it'll be a huge benefit there. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's great. We are learning to share a space all day long, but it's fun because I get to make meals for him, and
except for when I snack all day. So snacking is a real problem for working 100% from home. I've noticed that.
Yeah. If it's in the house, you're probably going to eat it.
Yeah.
So my advice is don't buy it.
Yeah. Don't use me as an example because I tend to like all the junk food. Yeah. What's been your favorite thing? So with working from home, what's been your favorite thing? Just curious.
Working from home?
Yeah, with both of us working from home. Favorite thing about it?
My favorite thing is
aspect, I guess,
that we're able to get things done throughout the day. Whereas people who are in the office all day come home and they might have like a long list of things that they still have to do. Dishes, laundry, all that. But I can do that in between clients. Yeah, it's nice to, well, it's also a distraction. So you have to make sure you're disciplined to split up your work and your household chores and things like that.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Like being able to, like for lunch break, I can do stuff at home, which is weird to think about sometimes because I've never been able to do that in the past. I've never been able to accomplish stuff at my house or apartment while I'm at work, I guess.
Yeah, and you get a full hour because usually you spend, 20 minutes driving?
Yeah, you have to go somewhere, find food if you didn't pack your lunch. So, yeah, and I'm not and if I don't meal prep, I'm probably not going to pack my lunch. So, yeah.
I'll pack your lunch if you ever work away from home.
Yeah. That would be funny. That would be funny if you did pack my lunch and then put it in a lunchbox and I carried it from the refrigerator to the office. Yeah.
We'll have to do that.
Yeah, we'll record that for you guys and let y'all see that play itself.
I'll surprise you every day.
Yeah.
Pack it like a kid's.
Yeah, put a fruit roll
like
in there
little,
or something.
Your treat. I'll put a note in there too.
Yeah.
Even though I'm right across the hall.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I'll knock on the wall just to make sure she's still over there, and yeah, that's probably the greatest for me. Probably not always the funnest for her because I don't check with her to see how busy she is. I just walk over there and try to give her a kiss or just want her attention for whatever reason on planet Earth, and that's not always the greatest because she's usually busy, she's focused or whatever, and so I have to try to be more disciplined in how I approach her when she's at her desk. So, yeah. But that's a really great benefit to be able to not have to wait the whole work day until you get home to see your wife. That's really great.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree that it's
I agree that it's really great that you get to see me. No, it's great that I get to see you.
Yeah.
We really don't know any other way. In the beginning of our marriage, it was a month maybe that he worked away from the house.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all we know.
Yeah. We have some summer updates that we've been doing. We've done a little bit of traveling. I'll let you tell them where all we've been.
Yeah, so we took a Babymoon, I think that's what they call it nowadays, where we take that that last trip, just the two of us, before baby. And we went up to Iowa to visit my family. We did a baby shower. We went to our friend's wedding. We got to celebrate their new covenant, which was really neat and beautiful. And then we went to Denver, Colorado, just for like some exploring. We got to see my brother who lives in Denver. And then we went a little south to Colorado Springs, and we adventured quite a few places there.
Yeah.
I really tested my fear of heights.
Oh gosh, y'all should have seen it. It was, I don't know if any of y'all have ever been to Royal Gorge, but it's, I've never been to the Grand Canyon, but I felt like I was walking across the Grand Canyon. I've been there once before, but I wanted to take Maddie. Trying to get her to look off the edge of the bridge that went across the gorge was a feat in and of itself, because she does not like heights whatsoever. She got dizzy when we were at her brother's house in Denver, looking like kind of in the direction over the edge. And so, yeah, it was interesting trying to cross the bridge, and it's creaking the whole time. They drove a tractor across it while we were walking across, and it doesn't feel like a bridge that can support a car. And they drove this massive tractor, and so that was a little sketchy. But yeah, it was definitely interesting seeing her reactions to all of it.
It was scary. If we have any videos, I'll insert the clips.
Yeah. Yeah, so we left Colorado Springs, then drove to Croft, New Mexico, and we got a lot of driving time in, and it went by really well. We didn't get real tired. I think you got tired one time while we were driving, and we swapped out. But other than that, I've been in a wreck before because I fell asleep driving, so it keeps me on my toes. I know it definitely keeps her on her toes. When we're going on long distance travels. So yeah, that was a really nice thing that I didn't get tired while we were driving. And yeah, so went down to Croft, and Maddie, I'll let you say a little bit about the place we stayed.
Oh yeah, okay, so we had our hotel booked for Colorado Springs, but we didn't have our last 2 nights booked. So that first night we stayed in New Mexico, second night in Texas, but we went through Expedia to just find a hotel, and I saw on there a bed and breakfast, like an authentic, not Airbnb, but bed and breakfast, old school. So we booked that. It was like $50, perfect.
Yeah.
Because you get breakfast too. So we stayed there in the coolest little town, all the neat little shops.
I describe it as a mountain town.
Mountain town, yeah. And it also dropped about 30 degrees.
Yeah.
When we went up there.
Yeah, it was 57 when we got there at about 8:30 at night.
Yeah. We also stayed in twin beds because there was only 2 twin beds in our room.
Yeah. Hello. We're just looking around. We just got here, yeah. I think that's the first time we slept in a different, I mean, outside of you being up in Iowa and me being here, like in the same space but in different beds. That's the first time I think we've done that.
Yeah.
Since we've been married. So that was interesting. It was like I had to wave at her like, night.
I couldn't sleep very well, so maybe that's why.
Maybe so. But I think the baby has had an effect on your sleeping too. I think she'll move around a lot more, I think, and I think it's harder for you to sleep at times. You may not notice it, but I think I notice it.
Probably.
Like so since y'all can see our bed here, I'll be over here and she'll be right smack in the middle. And I don't know why, except for I know it's not to be close to me because she's facing that way. And so yeah, it's gotta be the baby. But who knows? Oh, you know what? We forgot to say something about the place we stayed in Colorado Springs. That was a really cool spot.
But I found this place in Colorado Springs called the SCP.
Yeah,
believe.
It does stand for something. I just can't remember.
We'll link that here or here, whatever. But it was a really neat hotel. It was very hip. It was like a converted motel. You could tell it used to be a motel back in the day, but everything was remodeled, new. The community center part, like the lobby, so cool.
Yeah, it felt like you were, like, the way I feel like our generation would describe a chill zone. That's what it felt like. Like, it felt like they had pool table, ping pong, they had swings inside, they had all types of coffee and drinks that you could get in there. They had a bar, games, board games. So yeah, it was a really cool spot. I would encourage anybody that goes to Colorado Springs to check out that spot.
Yeah.
What? They instead of using, I'm almost positive. Don't quote me on this, but I'm almost positive she said they use alcohol, some type of alcohol solution or detergent versus bleach. But I mean, everything smelled clean, it felt clean. That was just a little bit of a surprise because they are like eco-friendly and all those things.
Yeah, I think that was why they did that. It's because they're more like natural, eco-friendly.
Yeah. I heard her talking at the front desk about that. That's the main reason is their eco-friendliness. But their gym, like, they had an awesome setup. It was really cool. Yeah, super
cool. The gym was the biggest hotel gym I've ever seen.
And they had everything you could need for a personal gym I mean, I've seen some gyms that didn't have some of the equipment they had in there, so it was really cool.
Yeah, they had all the machines, all the free weights, but then on top of that, they had kettlebells, they had medicine balls, slam balls, a battle rope, TRX, and not just one TRX, they had 4.
Oh wow, I didn't notice that.
And they had some Pelotons in there if that's how you like to work out. A big yoga studio. Yeah, so check out the SCP if you're looking for a healthy stay in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, and they have complimentary coffee that you can get all day, so that was a huge bonus.
And kombucha on tap.
Yeah, they give you 2 complimentary drinks whenever you get there, and that was her drinks of choice. I didn't use mine. I gave them both to her, but yeah, they have. You could literally stay there the whole time and probably enjoy it, but you obviously won't get to see some of the sights there. But yeah, that was really, really cool. And then so went from there down to Croft, and then from Croft we dropped out of the mountains, and we went to White Sands National Park in Alamogordo, New Mexico, and a lot of sand. I mean, that's pretty much it.
It looks like a winter wonderland in July. Like, white sand everywhere, but that's all there is. It's just sand.
Yeah,
no water.
As far as you can see. You can look in when you go all the way into the park, you look as far as you can see. Just sand.
And they were selling sleds at the gift shop. So
yeah.
We have a video of that, and I'll play that next. You want to tell us where we're at?
Yeah, so we're in White Sands, New Mexico. We were in 57-degree weather this morning, and now we're in probably 80-degree weather right now. So yeah, and we're not at the beach. We are in the middle of nowhere, Mexico. So there's some mountains all around us, really. Yeah, I don't know if you can see them.
Yeah, a little bit. There's people out there.
Yeah. It's really bright. Even wearing glasses, it's really bright.
It is bright.
Eyes are watering.
Oh, and sledding.
Yeah.
You can sled out here.
Yeah. Not snow. Yeah. And then let's see, from there we traveled, we went home to we stayed at a hotel in Brady, Texas.
Yeah. We made our way back.
Yeah, and then hung out in Austin. We were trying to get back for church that morning, but we knew we weren't going to be able to make it. So we ended up staying in Brady, Texas, and stopping in Austin. And that was I grew up in Texas. I grew up in Houston, which is 3 hours, I think, from Austin. I could be off on that, but I've been to Austin maybe once. So that was a really cool opportunity for me to experience Austin as an adult, and experiencing that with her. It was really cool to see some of the history there. And I don't know what stood out to you about Austin.
The state capitol was really cool. It reminded me a lot of
the water
Des Moines.
going right next to downtown.
Right when we drove through downtown, there's this river that goes through, and there were people on paddle boards and kayaks. There were just people everywhere on the river, and it looked like so much fun. So we'll have to go back and do that. Definitely.
For sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what our travels were for the past couple weeks.
Yeah, that was our baby moon. We're going to take one more trip before baby, and that is this next weekend for a family trip. It's almost like a family reunion because my cousins will be there, my grandparents. We're gonna go to Fort Myers for about 3 or 4 days.
So yeah.
And then we'll be homebound. What do you call it? Yeah, homebound until baby.
Yeah, not homeward, like not going toward home, but literally home bound.
We'll leave for church, but other than that, we'll be hermit crabs. Just kidding.
Yeah. So yeah, we're both really excited about that. Florida and being able to learn how to. We're still trying to learn how to live together personally, and figure out one another's quirks and what makes each other tick. And we may have to do another video that like just to talk and let people know like what are some things that Maddie does that may make me excited, make me joy filled, or what bothers me, and vice versa. Like just share like some of that stuff and how we've learned, how the Lord's taught us to work with those, around those, and then also like learn how to see ways that we can serve each other, to not push each other's buttons and stuff. So yeah, separate video.
Yeah, that could take us into how marriage is going.
Yeah.
Our personal walks with the Lord. I know personally, me in this season, with all of the newness and trying to prepare for baby, thinking about moving into a new house, and just sharing life with someone other than Mark, it's been a season to lean on the Lord, which I haven't been doing a great job of either, but I think he uses that as, our struggles to draw us even closer to him and to realize those spots where I think I can do it on my own, but I cannot, and I fail every time. Especially thinking new baby coming, and sharing life with another person. And the Lord always comes first, always. So
I think for me, the area that I've been I'll say struggling, that way I can say where the Lord's working on me. The struggle is the pressure of knowing like another human that you're responsible for is coming, but not only you, but your spouse, you and your spouse. And so thinking about that and the pressure that comes on, like I see my own issues, I see issues that Maddie has that I think will have a bad impact on the baby. And so it's all these negative things that are amplified because you don't want to teach those to your baby, the one you're responsible for. It's like, I don't want to have a bad habit and bring that into a job site, and then now I have bad habits at the job site where I'm responsible for things that other people are going to be using. I want to be responsible with what I have, so when I pass it on or use it somewhere else, the other people are built up, not torn down. And so I'm like, I don't want to tear this child that the Lord's getting us to steward. I don't want to ruin that. And so it's like all this extra pressure, it seems like, on every little detail throughout the day. And so the Lord has used the baby to not only show me and show us our imperfections, but he's used it as a way to kind of prune us, and a way to help us work on things that we did not even have a clue how selfish we were before we were married. Marriage is if you want to learn how selfish you are and how prideful you are, get married, because you have someone that's able to see you in every area of your life, not just at work, not just at church, but the most vulnerable place of your life, and that's at home, where you want to be relaxed. And it's not always as relaxing as you think it will be. Not that it's not relaxing, but you learn that, okay, this person doesn't do everything the way I like it. Yeah. The book of Psalms and Proverbs has been really good, and then Paul's letters has been really good. I've been learning, personally, I'll extend it a little bit longer, about my story. I've been learning the past couple of weeks how how encouraging Paul was in his writing of his letters to correct the churches, the Ephesians or the Galatians. By the end of his letters, he's encouraging them. He doesn't only stick to the issue and pointing at the problem, but he sends those letters in hopes that they will grow out of that. He doesn't send them just to point the finger at them and tear them down, but he does it for the purpose of building them up and drawing them back to the Lord. And so that's what I've seen with in our life with the Word, that the Word God's been using the Word to not only point out our flaws, but use it to pull us back to Him, to draw us along, and like we see in the book of Philippians, to keep going, keep pressing toward the goal. And so, yeah, it's kind of been my thoughts, just a lot today, but then kind of the past couple months.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. And also, it highlights so many of those flaws thinking of Baby, because you're thinking, not only do you not like maybe this quirk that's happening, but now you're like, what if this person teaches the baby this quirk? And it's just silly thoughts.
Or thinking, if the baby has that quirk, like you're like,
he's gonna be too?
Is this, I can't do it. I already have a hard enough time thinking about a person that's gonna have my attributes and my qualities. And so then thinking that it's like me plus her, or, it's like, it can be overwhelming at times, but just as much as I know the Lord's worked on both of us so much, I know the Lord can do that in them. And so that's where it's really sobering to read the Word and apply the Word to your child's life, to apply the Word to another person's life that you may be struggling against, knowing that the Lord was extremely patient with you or me. And so I know that I can be patient with this person or the baby as they're growing. And
That's really good. We'll go ahead and close our video off by sharing the good news of Christ, the good news of our Savior. If you are here for the first time, we like to share the good news of the gospel on every video, because that's why we're here, for your salvation, and just sharing our love for Christ and how He's transformed our lives.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of times it can be confusing because we may have grown up around people that talk about Jesus and how good He is and all this stuff, but we don't see the necessity and importance of Jesus. And what stands out is His perfect life. Like, He lived a perfect life, and He died a death. He not only lived a perfect life, but He died a death He didn't have to die. Like, He didn't deserve it. He was innocent. And that's really significant because we haven't lived a perfect life. That's number one. We have not lived a perfect life, and Christ has. And we deserve to be punished for that sin. Our sin is infinite, and we've sinned against an infinite and holy God. He's perfect, and He's righteous. Just like if you were to sin against your spouse or sin against a parent, you would get punished for that. But you're always punished in light of the person or the object of your sin. So if I were to sin against the President of the United States, that would incur a much larger and much more severe punishment versus my wife or my parents. And so the higher the object of your sin is against, the higher the punishment is. And so when you sin against an infinitely holy and righteous God, you deserve infinite punishment. And that's not a good thing, but thank the Lord, He sent His Son, that He's lived a life for us in our place perfectly, but then He also died in our place. And so if we trust that Jesus did those things, and we trust that He can be the Lord of our life, and He can run and dictate and be our teacher, our guide, our king, our priest, then He will grant us eternal life, that there's salvation in Jesus and Jesus alone. And that's good news, that salvation has been granted to those who trust in Christ. And so that's our hope for you guys. That is our prayer. When we go to sleep at night, our prayer is that salvation would come to you in Christ. And I don't know, is there anything else you would add to that?
I think that's great. I think if you have more questions, you want us to go a little bit deeper into that, we personally would love to talk to you. So ask any questions.
Yeah, absolutely. If there's one thing we want to talk about, like we want to talk about more than anything with anybody, is the gospel. More than children coming, more than a house, which all of those things are good, but they've been given to us by the giver of all good gifts. And so why not talk about Him? Why not enjoy the King of the Universe. That is a good thing, and he's made himself personable and approachable, I should say, and that's what we want to do. That is our heart and our passion. So please, if you have questions, message us, and we'll plan a time to talk and kind of flesh those things out a little bit more. So
yeah, and check out our other videos too if you want to see our testimony or random things like our honeymoon.
Yeah, that was fun.
Fun stuff.
Yeah. So we'll see y'all later. Let us know if y'all have like, subscribe, post, tell other people about this video and what we're doing. And if you have questions or if you have suggestions for us for future videos, let us know. Yeah, we'll see you.